folks. This quick video today is going to talk about a new simulator device I purchased to simulate 0 to 10 volt or a 4 to 20 milliamp analog signal. And the product that I acquired here happens to be over here on Amazon. I purchased this little inexpensive device here, 4 to 20 milliamp generator, Drock, $30 or so. I got this the other day, and it puts out a 4 to 20 milliamp, or actually a 0 to 20 milliamp signal, and a 0 to 10 volts. So I've got this unit right now, and I've got it wired into a really cool module on my Flex Edge, the 4 UI mix module, and I've got this wired into analog input number 3 on here. So I'm actually currently running the 10 volts into this terminal here, and the comma into this guy right here, the common ground, if you will, into there. So and I've got it shown in my webcam here. So I'm going to show you how to build this and get it working here. I'm going to go to Crimson, and over here in modules, I just want you to notice this is the mix. I've got a couple thermocouples on a few others. We're going to use analog input number 3 as a 0 to 10 volts. So it's disabled. I'm going to make it 0 to 10 volts. I'm going to leave everything else in here by default. I'm going to talk about that as well. So if I go over here to data tags, I'm going to go ahead and add a new tag here. So I'll just do a new tag, drag it up here, and I'm going to call this one module 3 because that's what it's on. MOD 3 underscore AI underscore 3. It's channel 3. Notice it's blue right now. I'm going to hit the pull down here, go down to module 3. I'm going to do analog inputs, status, and I'm looking for PV, process variable 3. So I'll click OK, and then I want to see if this works, so I'll go over here to display page, and then I'll click on data tags on the right. I'm just going to quickly drag this out here, and I'll make this a little bigger, make the font a little bigger by using the shortcut button maybe. Boom, 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 bold it. Okay, let's go ahead and download this and see if it shows up. So I got the web page up and running. So you see right now it shows 3, but if you look at the webcam, it's supposed to be putting out 0. So if I turn the knob on this thing, I can get this to simulate. So if I take it up to some, I'll just take it up here to close to 2, maybe something like that. So right now the screen on there shows 2.03, and if you look right here, it's kind of weird, but you see a 2039. So let me show you something. If I go to Crimson and go over here to data tags, if I click the format tab, and on the format tab I can say that I want to declare it as a numeric right there, and now I can adjust the decimal points before and after. So if we're going to say this thing's going to go between 0 to 10, if you will, if I put, let's see if I put 2 here, and for giggles I'll change this to 2. Let's go click over here. I'll click on the screen. It shows it like that. Let's download it. Let's see what it shows like now on the screen. Aha. So it looks like I need to actually have 3 decimal points after. Now it's 20. It's actually, so let me go back to Crimson. And I'll go here, and we'll change this to 3 right there. Let's try this. Let's see what it does here. There we go. Now we got something close. Looks good right there. And of course, if I turn the knob, if I adjust this thing on here, you can see that the voltage here on the screen is pretty much following suit to what's on the actual LCD screen. So it's a nice little cheater tool to simulate a 0 to 20 milliamp or a 0 to 10 volts. I find this a nice little tool to have. Let me go a little further, and I want to talk about something else. People always mess up on these modules. But if you notice here, if I go to AI3, you'll see here, team, on all the different cards we have, they show the same thing here, 0.0 to 100.0. And a lot of people will go in and change things here for scaling and so forth. I prefer to leave this at the default setting, and I like to do the scaling at the tag. Now, one thing that's confusing is the 100.0 here. In reality, team, that shows up at the tag level as a 0 to 10,000. So I'm going to say, I'm going to leave all this default. I'm going to go ahead and copy this tag. I'll copy it, right click and paste. And on the pasted version, go here. Let's pretend that I want to show this as a 4 to 20 milliamp number, as a 4 to 20 milliamp number over that 0 to 10 volts. So if I go down here to where it says do not scale, I'm going to choose scale to integer for this. The default is coming in as 0 to 10,000. A lot of people get confused. That 10,000 number I put right there is the same number as right here, but without a decimal point. So I'm going to leave that as 0 to 10,000, but I want to show up as a 4 to 20 milliamp. So actually, do this as a floating point. And I'll do 4.00, boom, to 20.00 right there. And then if I go to the Format tab, I'm going to change this 3 to a 2. And then I might go down here and I'm going to give it a units of milliamp, like that. Now, if I go to display page, that still has the same, but I'm going to drag this guy out here. And I'll say same size as that guy there. And then I'll right click and say copy from, all formatting this guy, so it has the same. Alright, let's take a look and see if it converts the 0 to 10 volts to a 4 to 20 amp number. Let's see, I'll go ahead and download that. Hey, that's pretty darn good. If I take this up to roughly 5, look, that's 12 milliamps. That's halfway between 4 to 20 milliamps is definitely 12 milliamps. And of course, if I take it further, you'll see that the scaling matches pretty good. Let's go one step further with that. I've got also on the same slice, I've got, I think, some thermocouples. Let me go over here to modules. Channel 1 and channel 2, I've got configured already as a thermocouple on here. So if I go back to data tags, that's this guy right here. Notice it's mapped to analog inputs PV1. So if I wanted to see that on the page, I'll just grab this guy and I'll drag it out here. And I'll right click and I'll do same size as this guy right here. And right click and I'll say copy from, all formatting that guy. Let's go ahead and download this and see what we got here. Now I have this right now currently plugged into a thermocouple in a piece of glass, or glass with some ice. If I take it out of that ice water and just happen to squeeze it, you can see that the thermocouple rises. And of course, if I put it back in the ice, it's going to drop accordingly. Now what if I wanted to take that number, this here, and let's say that I wanted to scale that as a 0 to 10 volt number, if you will. Notice it's sitting right around 49 here, and if I take it out, and if I squeeze it, let's see how hot I can get this guy. So I can get it roughly up to 90. So let's say between 50 degrees and 90 degrees, I want that to show up as a 4 to 20 number as well. So if I go back here to Crimson, go to data tags, I'm going to once again cheat. I'm going to right click and copy this tag, right click, paste it, and I'm going to change the name of this one to MA like that. Notice the same source, but down here I'm going to say scale to floating point. I'm going to pick here in this case, we know the raw number is coming in between 50 to 90, so I want to put in 500 to 90 here, 900. It's kind of weird, but I think, do I do any formatting here? Yeah, I'm already formatting there. So that's where that's 50.0, but that. And then if I go down here, let's say that I want to show this as a 4 to 20 milliamp over that range. So I'll go 4.00, boom, to 20.00, boom. And then I am going to go back to the Format tab and change this to a 2 and a 2. And then if I go down here and change this, what it was before, to milliamps, all right, go over here. And I'll go ahead and drag this guy down here like this. Same size as this one here. And I'll right click and copy from, all formatting that guy. And we'll leave it right there. Let's go ahead and download it, team. Let's see what happens. So currently, it's in the piece of ice, or it's in the glass ice, so it's at 50 degrees. If I take it out of the glass ice, there it is. In fact, I might be able to use my camera. Let me see here. There's the thermocouple going into that slice. And that's out of the ice right there. I'll put it back down. That guy, you can stay there. Anyway, if I squeeze it, I must have a loose connection, but you see it ranks up and goes down. So that's just a quick thing. But the important thing here is I'm using this tool to simulate a 0 to 10 volts or a 4 to 12 amp. I'm quite pleased with that as a simulator into my analog input on my modules. Anyway, thanks a lot, folks. Have a great day.